When it comes to living a productive life, it's mostly about consistency and discipline and hard work. However, if you are doing all that, there are some shortcuts you can take, some brain hacks you can use to boost your productivity even more. I have 11 brain hacks for you today that I have divided into 3 categories: mind, habits, and environment. And if you find these brain hacks useful, why not paying me back with the YouTube currency? Subscribing to my channel, liking and commenting this video, sharing it with your friends, or watching some other content of mine. Whatever you choose, I thank you in advance because it really helps me and my channel. Okay, let's get straight into those brain hacks and let's start with the mind category. Brain hack number 1. This is what I am doing now. If you have problems when working, that you're getting distracted and you're jumping from one task to another, saying this is the task I'm going to work on now can really help your brain to focus on one task and stop multitasking, because multitasking does not work. Brain hack number 2. Set a timer. If you're struggling with starting to work, there's one simple thing you can do. Set a timer for 10, 15 or 20 minutes. Your brain is not going to resist to start working in the future as long as it's not straight away. And if you set a timer, you kind of see the time going down and helps your brain to prepare for it. I don't really know why it works, but it really does. So give it a try. Brain hack number 3. Identify the most important task of the day. What I do right now is when I'm scheduling my week ahead, I have 2 lists of goals. One is with my primary goals, another one with my secondary goals. For every day, I pick one goal that I'm going to focus on and that I need to finish no matter what. And only when I'm done with this task, I can move to my secondary goals. Brain hack number 4, pretend interview. If you find yourself in the middle of a really long project or a task that is boring, that is really hard and challenging, and you just want to give up, try pretend interview. This is something I've started doing when I was working out and doing some really endurance type of activities like swimming 4 kilometers or biking 200 kilometers. And this is something that I would give to myself. So it was my goal, and it was just me. There was no one else, no coach, someone who would train with me. So it was quite tempting to just say after swimming 2 kilometers, like, hey, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to give up, because there was no one who would see it. It was just me. So what I started doing is I started doing this pretend talk or pretend interview, where when I reach this point of 2 kilometers and I'm really tired, I want to give up, I would play in my head a possible talk I would have after I finish this task or this workout with someone I respect. It might be someone I know or someone I've never met before, but I respect that person, and in my head I would play it, the person saying like, oh my gosh, you just swam 4 kilometers, that's crazy. And then it would be like, if it would be me after 2 kilometers, I would probably want to give up because it's crazy. And I would be like, well, you know what? I also wanted to give up, but I didn't because, and then I would go into explaining why I didn't give up. And I was just really in my head getting those feelings, how I will feel, this kind of proudness that I didn't give up, what I will feel after I finish this workout, and that would help me go through the workout in the first place. And this is something I've been using not only with the workouts, but also with some projects and tasks that I come up with, and that they stretch over months and months, and maybe at the beginning you don't really see any results and you're tempted to give up. So just focus on how you will feel after you reach your goals, and when you will talk to people, what you will say, and how it will feel good that you did not give up. Number 5, teach someone or pretend to teach someone. If you have hard time learning something, memorizing something, pretend to teach someone else. If you're forced to explain it in your own words and make it easy for someone else to understand, it just gets into your brain way faster than if you are simply trying to memorize it. Number 6, meditation. Do I need to say anything else? You know it works. There are countless studies done proving that it works wonders for productivity. There are successful people all over the world meditating daily, so why aren't you? If you don't know how to start, check out my video with 5 unorthodox ways to meditate. It's great for beginners and for people who just can't really see themselves as just sitting still and doing nothing. Brain hack number 7. Stop reading the news and the comment sections online. If you're reading the news, and especially if you're reading comment sections underneath the news, you're creating a clutter in your head. You're putting there stuff that has very little influence on your life. If you stop reading the news, and especially the comments, because the comments, it's basically people complaining and being unhappy about their own lives. You don't need that. If you want to be productive and you want to live a fulfilling life, stop reading about other people's complaints and focus on what is really important and what you can actually influence. Number 8, use all senses. When I was in my last year of high school, I started drinking green tea every time I was studying. So before I would start studying, I would go and make a cup of tea, bringing to my desk, and then I would drink this green tea and study at the same time. I was continuing with this habit throughout my university years, and I would not drink green tea at any other time. There was nothing intentional about it, just a habit I created. You know, I like the green tea, and so why not to do something nice when I'm studying? But I found out that even now, years later, when I make a cup of green tea, my brain is immediately alert and ready to learn, ready to do something. And you know, we know how important it is to have a special space where you study or work, so that when you go there, your brain knows, okay, now it's time to focus, now it's time to do some stuff. And in this way, with the green tea, I was able to utilize also other senses. It was a sense of smell, taste, and even touch, because I was holding the cup in a certain way. So when you want to study, make sure that you utilize all the senses so you really help your brain to focus. Tip number 8, avoid sugar and coffee. Stop eating processed food and sugar. It's not good for you overall, and it's definitely not doing anything good for your productivity. If you're eating, junk food, you get this spike of energy and then it just goes down, and it's really, really bad. So definitely try to avoid that. When it comes to coffee, it's a bit trickier. Coffee is actually not bad unless you're addicted. So if you need to drink coffee in the morning because otherwise you're tired, you have headaches, and I don't know what, you just cannot function without a coffee, you're addicted. And if you want to use the potential of coffee, you need to get rid of it. So get rid of coffee altogether, and then after a few weeks, start introducing it back again, but only on times when you actually want and need this extra burst of energy. Because right now what it does, it doesn't give you extra energy, it just brings you to your baseline, to the level where you were, all those months and years ago when you were not drinking coffee at all. So get rid of it and then use it to its fullest potential. Brain hack number 10. Clean your clutter, both in your head and around you. If you want to really focus, you can't have stuff in your head, whether it's your to-do list or, the conversation you had last night with your partner. You need to get rid of it. One way to do it is to have a small paper block with you where you can write down whatever comes to your head, so you know it's going to be addressed at some point and you don't have to keep it in your head. So you think about, I have to do the laundry tonight, you write it down and it's there, you can focus on something else. When it comes to difficult conversations or situations, it's a bit trickier. One thing that can help you is meditation. You can look into Stoicism. Another thing that helps a lot of people is journaling, or, find another way how to get rid of it, but get rid of it. Same way, clean the clutter around you, on your desk, in your house. It's just way easier to focus on what is in front of you if you don't have this clutter around you. Number 11, change where you work. If you are stuck with what you're supposed to be doing, you don't know how to go further, sometimes change of scenery can help. Take your laptop and go and work in a different room, outside, to a coffee shop, somewhere in a park. It just helps your brain to refocus and get new inspiration and new ideas. This can also help you with if you just you have a long and boring task and you need to switch it up. Instead of switching the task, you switch the scenery. It kind of works in the same way for your brain. If you find that you have a lot of bad habits when you're working, for example, you come in the morning and first thing you do is you check Facebook and Reddit and I don't know what, and you spend a lot of time on this, and then you have some other bad habits throughout the day, sometimes what helps is to completely rearrange your office. If you put your desk somewhere else, you put the printer on the other side of the room and you introduce some new plants, or you put them in a different position, you have suddenly a new angle when you're looking out of the window. When you switch things like this, you force your brain to stop being on autopilot and start paying attention to what is happening. And this can really help you with getting rid of your bad habits, because suddenly the brain is aware what's going on. And if you have everything around you is new, it's kind of easier to get rid of those bad habits because they are associated with certain things that are around you. That's all from me for today. I hope you found it useful. Let me know down below which brain hack you're going to try out today. Please consider supporting me by subscribing to this channel, and I will see you next time.